And sometimes on the odd occasion, time randomly speeds up, and sometimes it just slows down for whatever reason. Sometimes we see patterns where none exist. Sometimes we feel like we've lived some moments before, something we refer to as deja vu,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
We become convinced sometimes that the universe is sending us signs when it's really just our brain being aggressively unserious or notoriously meddling. So today's episode, it is all about the most common. I'm using for the people who are listening to this and not watching this on video. I'm using quote marks here. I'm terming them as loosely brain glitches.
Mm-hmm.
That is not the scientific term, obviously. It makes it easier to refer to them as glitches.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the everyday psychological bugs that make us forget, hallucinate meanings, misjudge time on the odd occasion, and occasionally gaslight ourselves.
So it's, I mean, when you're in your 20s, सब कुछ चल जाता है. Early 20s. Body is very forgiving at that point of time.
Right.
It is now that a pain starts and then it never goes away. Like it's now that happens. Early
Physically,
20s, super
emotional
nice.
pain बिल्कुल नहीं जाता यार.
Prakhar is in a different mood only altogether today.
You know, Prakhar is like Schrodinger's cat because sometimes he'll be like, there is no one to share my life with, and he will then be like, no, no, but I still want to stay single also. I'm like, fucking
वो तो
decide
है.
on one path, dude.
देखो,
Like, what do you want? You
One
want a
thing-
relationship or you don't want a relationship?
one
Just
thing
fucking
leads to
decide and
another.
stick to it. No.
One thing
No, it
leads
does
to
not.
another.
I don't, having seen you for quite a few years now, Prakhar,
Yeah.
कोई मिल नहीं रहा. I don't think is as big a challenge as you
It is.
as you make
Listen,
it
you're
to
not
be.
single, so you don't know.
As if I have never been single.
Of course,
you know?
everyone has been single at some point of their life. Yes, but I'm single right now, so I can tell you my thing, na?
No, you did not let me complete.
Okay.
It's with you. There is enough attention that you get. You just refuse to do anything out of it. Like
I get
I don't
attention
want,
from
I
uncles
don't
and
want.
aunties. ठीक है. So I don't want that kind of attention.
Exactly.
Oh no.
So if any of our listeners are the sugar mommies on the lookout for a young hot guy, please do let us know.
No.
Or if
Let
there
them
are
know.
any,
Let Ashmita and Sandy
if-
know. Don't let me know.
Why? See.
Uncle
I
and
mean,
auntie.
if you let us know, we'll
Why?
let you know. Will if you listeners let us know, then we'll let Prakhar know on your behalf. That is one thing. The second thing is if there are any, I don't know, single ladies out there who want a young rock star, a drummer who has danced with Anu Malik, who wants to perform a set while skydiving or hanging upside down, who gives no fucks
Yeah.
about gravity,
That I would
and
love.
like science is just a vibe for him.
I'll be
And
very
if someone,
honest. Turning this into a matrimonial sort of semanti thing is very uncomfortable for me. I don't
It's not for
appreciate
me.
this.
It's not
I
for
don't
me.
appreciate this
That's
at
why I'm
all.
doing it. That's why I'm doing it.
Agreed.
And this will be our own reality show, and we'll release a single episode every week on our Instagram.
Only for Prakhar?
Yeah. Who else?
Swayamvar. Prakhar ka Swayamvar.
No, we can make this into a thing where other people can come in and also find
Sure,
out of
sure.
our 13 listeners, you know.
We'll make it a dating game show. That will be a bonus episode. I'll be asking some very pointed questions to qualify or disqualify you for Prakhar.
You to
And
just
then
love hosting games, हाँ ठीक है. I know your interest is only hosting.
Yeah.
I want
What?
people to have fun.
No, Sandy's is like, what
For that.
entertainment can I get out of this?
Yes, yes.
Out of Prakhar's whole life's decisions, what entertainment can I get?
Yes, exactly.
Anyway, Sandy, do you have a segue?
I'm trying to make it as tenuous as possible to find a tenuous link, if at all. I mean, if we want to call that a glitch in Prakhar's matrix, then sure, we can take that route. And
Okay.
so yeah, speaking of that particular glitch with Prakhar's brain, today I wanted to explore
Oh no.
what.
There is nothing
No,
wrong
no.
with me. Okay?
This is a glitch,
Get
definitely a
get to
glitch.
the get to the topic.
Yeah. Let's go ahead.
Okay, so speaking of that, does either one of you recall any occasion where you walked into a room and completely forgot why you were there?
Yes, of course.
It
What do you
happens more often
mean?
than not, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it does happen.
Yeah, and I don't mean that in a philosophical way or in a poetic way. Like definitely not in a life is fleeting kind of way. Just absolute nothingness. You walk into a room and you completely zoned out
Mm-hmm.
as to why you entered that room, right?
Yep.
Any of such particular instances in the recent past that you can think of, probably over the past week or so?
Not recent. Like it has happened in the past, but not very recent.
Yeah, it happens to me all the time. Like almost every day. For example, the other day I went to, so I had taken out my ring,
Mm-hmm.
and I had kept it on the table, and I went back into the room to get the ring. But while going into the room, I spotted something else. I started thinking of that, and I went into the room. I roamed around. I saw the ring, but I didn't still recall what I had to take. I came back, I sat on the table. And that is when I realized again that, oh, I had to take the ring. And that's how I go back. So I feel like half of my brain space goes in tracing my steps, backwards. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what was I thinking? It's like those detective boards with red threads
Mm-hmm.
across,
Yeah,
but for my own brain. So I feel like I'm constantly doing that. So yeah, very common.
but that's how you complete your 10,000 steps every day, is it? You keep going back and you keep walking in and out of rooms just trying to
Quite
figure out why you were there in the first place.
possible. Possible. I get a lot of steps out of it.
And most people do what like seemingly all rational adults like to do, right? You just stand
Mm-hmm.
there for about 5 to 10 seconds, hoping that your memory would not fail you this time around.
Yeah.
And it usually never works out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
At least not so soon thereafter. So you walk back out, you act mildly offended, like the room had personally wronged you for some odd reason, right? You're just pissed off at something you don't know exactly at what. The thing is, this is not something to be concerned about, right? This keeps happening to pretty much all of us, pretty much constantly. And somehow we've all collectively agreed that this is normal and not even remotely weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because we just don't end up thinking a lot about it, right? Because we just assume that this is what normally happens and we just move on from that, right?
Yeah.
So and sometimes on the odd occasion, time randomly speeds up and sometimes it just slows down for whatever reason. Sometimes we see patterns where none exist. Sometimes we feel like we've lived some moments before, something we refer to as deja vu,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
We become convinced sometimes that the universe is sending us signs when it's really just our brain being aggressively unserious or notoriously meddling. So today's episode, it is all about the most common I'm using for the people who are listening to this and not watching this on video. I'm using quote marks here. I'm terming them as loosely brain glitches.
Mm-hmm.
That is not the scientific term, obviously. It makes it easier to refer to them as glitches.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the everyday psychological bugs that make us forget, hallucinate meanings, misjudge time on the odd occasion, and occasionally gaslight ourselves. That's basically what I wanted to explore. I'd like to mention one thing of note here. These are not categorized as mental illnesses of any kind. These are not something to be clinically institutionalized for. These are not
Sure,
like some
sure.
extreme cases.
Thank God I'm
These
safe,
are
huh?
just, yeah, most of us. I mean, I'll say that very loosely. Safe is very loose term here. I still think you should get help, but anyway, these are just
You
regular
particularly, Prahar. He's
What?
talking to you particularly.
What? About?
for some other issues.
Ah,
About
Getting
what?
help.
no, I don't need help in that area.
Yes, that's what
Sure.
everyone who needs help says.
Sure.
I am fine.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I believe you. Absolutely. Very convincing this was.
Your face and your laugh doesn't sound anywhere convinced. Okay, Ashmita, we know.
So all of these are just regular human brains doing what any high functioning machine does at some point of time. from time to time, which is glitch. Right? Even a supercomputer glitches from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
And the brain is the best supercomputer we have at hand, right? So
Yeah, yeah, of course.
see, these are some common, again, I'm using the term loosely, brain glitches. Obviously, there are like many of them, and there are multiple of them which have not yet been scientifically researched or scientifically documented yet. Right? We are still discovering new things about the human brain on a daily basis, pretty much. Right? There is constantly science and research is ongoing pretty much every day, and these are some of the more widely accepted and widely researched and documented ones that I wanted to explore.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else that you can think of before we proceed? Any
In
such
glitches?
brain glitches, yeah, that you think that you have, or that you might have noticed and thought that there's something horribly wrong with you?
There's one that is very, very common, which is why witness testimony is, you need to back that up by a lot of different things. Is you think you remember something, but when you ask other people, they remember something entirely different,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
or to a large extent different. That happens. That I think is a brain glitch, like glitch. What you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, then not brain glitch as an actual thing, but like something that happened. That is pretty common. Yeah, this room thing. What else is there? Why can't I think of anything?
Mm.
There's
Glitches.
your glitch, Ashmita.
Yeah.
We found one.
Yeah, it's also words dropping off. Like, I don't know if this happens, this is common. Actually, I think it is common. Like when you start learning a new language, sometimes I feel like on an average, my vocabulary remains the same. I just lose vocabulary in one language while gaining in another, Like
Mm-hmm.
I will forget
I
words.
don't know there is enough science to back that up, but sure.
I'm sure there isn't. I'm very clearly giving just an anecdote that also particularly towards me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like some of the things that you mentioned, which obviously I'm not covering all of them here, but for example, one of the most common ones is the tip of the tongue syndrome. That happens to pretty
Ah,
much all
yeah,
of us. Like
Mm-hmm.
there
yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
words that we know, but we somehow still unable to recall it at the time of
Yeah.
need.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very common, again, loosely using this brain glitch that happens to pretty
You
much
you know
everyone.
what you know what they say it in what they call it in Bengali.
What?
What?
It's so I'm translating it obviously into English. It's that it's coming into my stomach, but it's not coming into my mouth. It's just such a weird ass thing to say.
Would you call sleep
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
paralysis also
agree.
brain glitch?
I think sleep paralysis is a serious medical condition, and you
Yes.
should reach out to a doctor for that.
Oh, of
yes.
course. But my question is different. But is it also uh,
I
sort of
don't
a.
think it can be classified. See, when I say brain glitch, I mean these are more or less harmless,
Harmless?
sort of
Mm-hmm.
temporary. I don't know, like a system reboots, right? Like your
Mm-hmm.
computer will reboot when it gets stuck or freezes sometimes. That is what I'm loosely categorizing as a glitch, not
Hmm.
something which troubles you over a significant period of time. Then you should definitely be getting medical help.
Hmm.
So just equate this to a computer rebooting. That's what a brain glitch is, right?
Okay.
So yeah, the first one that we'll explore is something known as the doorway effect. This is more common than we realize. This is essentially what we were talking about at the top of the episode, where you walk into a room and you completely forget what you were
Wait,
there for.
sorry. Didn't we start with tip of the tongue syndrome?
No, that I just named that. I'm not covering that because that is
Okay.
so very common, and tip of the tongue
Hmm.
syndrome is pretty much self-explanatory, right? So we
Okay.
don't really need to dive much deeper into that. It's that you
Okay.
know the word, you know a specific word, it's just not coming to you at that
Hmm.
very moment. That's pretty much what tip of the tongue syndrome is. So the first one that we'll explore a little bit is the doorway effect. The doorway effect is a real cognitive phenomenon where walking through a doorway makes you more likely to forget what you were just thinking about. even if it happened just seconds before. That is essentially what the doorway effect is. And in again layperson's terms, it's you walk into a room, you completely forget why you were there for, then you walk out offended at the room somehow, right? Why does it happen though? So your brain organizes experiences into discrete events called event models. And all of this is not me making shit up. This is actual scientists did this research. I'm
We
just
don't
letting you
doubt
know
you,
what they
Sandy.
did.
Yeah. We are not doubting you. We don't think you just cook up things and come and
Yeah.
tell us in
I mean,
this
you guys are
episode.
free to Google all of this in your own time. So
No,
anyway,
if that was the point, then what's the point of the podcast? No, we believe you,
yeah,
Sandy. Go
fair,
ahead.
fair. So yeah, your brain organizes different experiences into discrete events called event models. A doorway acts like a mental divider, meaning that it signals the end of one event and the start of another. So when you pass through the doorway,
Oh,
your mind again quote unquote updates the ongoing event and drops, or in some words purges, some of the old information to make room for new stuff, right? So the thing you were just thinking of before entering the room is disposed of by your brain as it is considered old information. The actual doorway acts as a barrier or as a next step. So as soon as you enter the new room, it's like in video game terms, it's a new level. A new quest has started.
ah,
So what did the actual research find? So this research was conducted in the University of Notre Dame. So in some experiments, and this as a part of that experiment, researchers actually, while also doing, this is a physical phenomenon, right? This happens in actual real life. So what researchers also tried to do was try to make it a virtual environment of sorts. So they had several participants, almost like plug them into a game of some kind, wherein they had, again, using the term quests or different tasks to be done, right? So during the research conducted by the University of Notre Dame, in experiments, and these are including virtual environments, people remembered objects or tasks worse after walking through a door compared to walking the same distance without crossing a doorway. So it's
oh,
not just about
wow.
context change, right? It's not just about context change. Researchers found that even walking back into the original room didn't improve recall, suggesting the doorway itself triggers the memory segmentation. So, just again, in very, very, very easy to understand words, even during a quest. So, as soon as the people left the virtual room, more often than not, they used to forget what was happening in the previous room, right? So that's where the doorway effect, sort of, the term was coined, and they found out more. Obviously, this is again something that happens to us physically every day. According to broader research on event boundaries, this effect isn't limited to physical or even virtual doorways. Any task or context switch, for example, like finishing one activity and starting another, can trigger similar memory shifts, right? So essentially, in case you want to dive a little bit deeper, just slightly little bit deeper into what the research actually entailed. So these people, the researchers, they seated participants in front of a computer screen running a video game in which they could move around using the arrow keys, right? In the game, they would walk up to a table with a colored geometric solid sitting on it. Their task was to pick up the object and take it to another table where they would put the object down and pick up a new one. Whichever object they were currently carrying was invisible to them as if it were in a virtual backpack. Are you guys with me so far?
Not really. I did not get that. Sorry. Can you repeat it?
No.
So basically, there was a virtual geometric object in one room. They had to pick up that object, take it to the take it to a table in the other room, virtual room,
Ah, okay. Okay. Yeah.
right? Sometimes to get to the next object, the participants simply walked across the room. Sometimes the other table was also in the same room. Other times, they had to walk the same distance but through a doorway into a new room,
Okay. Okay.
right? From time to time, the researchers gave them a pop quiz asking them which object was currently in their backpack. The quiz was timed so that when they walked through a doorway, they were tested right afterwards. And walking through the doorways more often than not caused them to forget what they were carrying in their backpack, even though they had just picked up the object in the previous room.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Hmm.
That's really
So
fascinating. Yeah.
it's extremely fascinating. And that's how they sort of realize that the doorway effect doesn't only apply to real life, it happens in virtual environments as well.
Hmm.
So essentially, what your brain is doing is okay, I've entered a new room, I need to make space for new stuff here. Immediately control alt delete on the previous one,
Hmm.
That
right?
is also
That
probably why all of us suck at multitasking, just in general.
possible
Multi
Yeah,
because you
yeah,
you
yeah.
picked up a
People,
new activity without completing the old activity, right?
and anyway,
yeah,
multitasking is not true. Like no one can do multitasking. As soon as
yeah, yeah.
you pick up another
Yeah,
task, I mean, it's a new task. Wait a second, huh?
It's a new task. Yeah. Now, there are people who shuffle between tasks and
yeah.
a lot, like a lot. And they're quite annoying to work with, to be very honest.
Talking about multitasking now that we're on the topic, I think one of the biggest misconceptions about multitasking is that people think they can, at least the people who think that they are multitasking, they think that they're focusing on more than one thing at a same point of time.
Yeah.
Whereas it is scientifically impossible, except for a few extremely gifted individuals, for a person to focus on more than one thing at the same point of time.
Yeah.
If you're able to do that, that is when you're multitasking.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the very basic definition of multitasking, is that you're focusing on more than one thing at the same point of time. If you are able to do that, then you are a truly gifted individual and you are like a handful of people in the
Genius.
entire world.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, you're a full blown
absolutely.
genius.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, common people like us, your brain is not wired to focus on more than one thing at any point of time.
Yeah.
That is the definition of multitasking. If you're just
That's
doing
why when
five things
I
at once and not focusing on any one given thing, then you're not multitasking. You're just doing one thing after the other.
Yeah.
You know
Ah,
what I mean?
or you're doing all five really badly. Like when
Yeah. Yeah.
I play my shitty games and I watch something, I can watch a show like 15 times because I have forgotten so much of it because I've been playing a shitty game while watching it and, you know, my
What's
brain
that
doesn't
shitty game?
recognize it. Oh, there are many shitty games. There are three essentially shitty games that I play. One where you have to construct rooms. A sort of an extension of Candy Crush. The guy
That's why
has
you keep forgetting. That's your doorway effect on a daily basis every 5 minutes.
that is true.
Yeah.
Then I also play Phase 10 online, like online as in on like, but with AI only, with
Yeah.
robots only, not with real people.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, go ahead, Sandy. I'm just giving Prakhar a list of the shitty games I play. Basically, games that require zero cognitive ability. You can just do whatever the fuck you want with while
True. True.
playing those
True.
games.
So, what does the doorway effect suggest about the human brain? Just very briefly, it is that the brain prioritizes efficiency over everything else.
Mm-hmm.
It only keeps, again, quotes, current information at the ready and discards what it deems to be irrelevant. So the irrelevant can be as old as just 2 seconds ago. But
Mm.
as soon as you enter the doorway, it is deemed irrelevant and it's immediately again purged from your brain, or it's shifted somewhere else where you can't readily access it. Right?
So this happens with everyone or only select individuals? Like,
No, no,
is there
no. This
like
is very universal phenomenon. Doorway
Universal.
effect, very
okay,
universal,
okay,
right? So this memory strategy works well most of the time, but it feels deeply imperfect when you just can't remember why you came into the kitchen, for example, right? You want
mm-hmm.
to, maybe you are just feeling peckish. You entered the kitchen and you immediately forget. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not really ideal, right? So this is where the efficiency of the brain sometimes backfires
Hmm.
because it's very
But
imperfect.
it usually comes back if you go back into the other, like where you came from. If you go back, it comes back. Then you have to hold it in your brain, and then you have to go back to
Yeah,
that
yeah, but
other
that
room.
also doesn't happen very often. That also only
Mm.
sometimes. So
Really?
it's a
Huh.
yeah, it's trial and error essentially. So there is no research to prove that if you go back to the room, then you'll immediately recall what you were there for. Talking about the doorway effect. The Indian PM's residence has 5 bungalows. Imagine how many rooms it has. No wonder like national issues are being forgotten
Yeah.
left, right, and center.
Yes, that is the
So
reason.
maybe we can excuse, maybe we can
Sure, sure.
excuse that transgression.
That is the reason. That is
I'm
absolutely
justifying,
the reason.
I'm providing every possible excuse here.
Happens with
Like,
everybody.
yeah, yeah. The poor guy is forgetting national matters every time he enters
Yeah.
a new room.
Not
That's
that he
five
has an
fucking bungalows,
army.
dude.
Yeah. Not that he has an army of people to do his bidding. But yes, that is the reason. Not that he's an incompetent little fuck. But
I had to search how many rooms his residence had just for this joke. So, maybe
okay.
you'll
No,
appreciate my.
I appreciate the joke. Yes. Yes.
So the second one I wanted to explore is something known as time dilation, or like most people will know this as the perceived time slowing in emergencies, especially, when people say that their life flashed before their eyes or something to that effect when they're in an emergency situation of some sort. If there's a car speeding towards you, or you jump from a great height or something like that, right? You often claim that your life started flashing before your eyes.
Yeah.
Scientifically, the
Time
term for.
slows.
Yes.
स्कूल में भी होता था.
क्या?
जब बहुत बोरिंग
What do you mean?
जब बोरिंग डे जा रहा होता तो ऐसे लगता था कि दिन बहुत लंबा है, खत्म क्यों नहीं हो रहा.
But this is exactly the opposite. When something extremely exciting is happening, it seems as if the time sort of, you just feel that slow motion thing
Yeah,
happening in.
I'm glad you brought that up also, Prakhar. That is also sort of a subset of this. I'll get to that. Like we'll very briefly discuss that as well. So, but essentially, it is the feeling of time slowing down, right? Which is actually not the case. Just right off the bat, time does not slow down for anyone in
Yes.
any case.
तो
Okay, so
तो
just this is
Oh,
not the
wow,
time slowing
Sandy.
down.
तो डॉक्टर
Getting
स्ट्रेंज
fully
कैसे करता है?
philosophical.
डॉक्टर स्ट्रेंज कैसे करता है फिर?
Because he's strange. Moving on. Also,
Yeah.
he's a fictional character, dude.
थैंक यू फॉर एक्सप्लेनिंग.
Yes. I
It
mean,
did
I
seem,
thought.
to be fair, it did seem like you needed that explanation, like
Oh
the
my
way you
god,
asked that
guys.
question.
Oh my god. Of course, आप दोनों मेरे अगेंस्ट में तो हो गए.
So yeah, what is time dilation, right? In extreme or scary moments, like falling from a great height or an approaching car, or any emergency for that matter, people feel like time stretches out and lasts longer than it actually does. That is basically what time dilation is. But here's the twist. It's not that time itself slows or your brain turns you into Neo from the Matrix somehow and you're dodging bullets left, right, and center. That is absolutely not the case. It is an illusion rooted in memory and brain processing. So, researchers found out that, so again, hats off to the volunteers who volunteered to this particular research.
Yeah.
Researchers found that volunteers dropped 150 feet, thought the fall lasted about a third longer than it actually did. Yet they couldn't actually process faster images during the fall. So
I
essentially,
volunteer.
if
I volunteer for this,
I'm sure
teacher.
you were not there, no, when they were researching this.
Yes. So if anyone who's planning to do a research on this next, please, 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 I am in for it.
Prakhar, have you gone for that? I have felt this in when I was a teenager, when I would do whatever my impulse told me to do. Prakhar, have you been to that cliff jump thing at
Yeah.
at Rishikesh? I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
it was. Yeah. So you know the one that closed down because two people died.
When?
I think it was of Lakshman Jhula or something, no?
No, there was a cliff jump point. There
Okay.
was literally just a cliff, and you have to, and yeah, like 20,
No,
25 meters, so about
I think
same 100 feet. Yeah.
some kids they jumped from the Lakshman Jhula and they died, and
That was
so
a
they
different case.
but they shut everything anything related to jumping in the river, the cliff jump and
Yeah, makes
the
sense.
Lakshman Jhula, of course.
Ah, okay.
But it wasn't
I
the
did that
because
cliff jump. It was
yeah, but the cliff jump
because,
wasn't very high, so it was anyway not very dangerous. But of course, anyone who doesn't
I
know
mean,
how
of
to
course it
swim,
was.
then of course it's dangerous.
No, they were fully not. Firstly, they were not allowing kids below Like they were not allowing children below 15 or 16. They did allow only and only swimmers to come in. It was not 150 feet, I'm sure,
Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
like 30 meters or something.
Yeah.
But it did seem like that. Like it did seem
Mhm.
that I was falling for so many seconds.
And also
It,
because I think
yeah,
our bodies is not used to that feeling, falling for so long because you don't do it very often.
Yeah. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
I wouldn't
Right.
do it anymore.
All,
I would love it. I would
all,
love
all
to
of
do it.
them very pertinent points. So essentially, what's happening is that during time dilation, instead of your brain speeding up like an action movie camera, what is essentially happening is your brain starts laying down more vivid, dense memories during frightening moments, which make them seem longer in retrospect,
Mm.
right? So I'll
Like
just,
dreams.
sure, yeah, like dreams. So why does it feel like slow motion? In emergencies, we'll again reckon back to, not reckon back to, it's a
This
recall
is
during,
this is tip of the tongue syndrome.
yeah. No, tip of the tongue is you're just unable to recall what the word is, but I
That's what
guess
was
the wrong
happening
word.
to you, I thought.
Is it also because, is this the reason why in most of these action movies, if there's a scene of a car falling from a cliff or someone jumping from a skydiving or something, say they slow down the scene like it's a slow-mo scene, like in
Possible.
what's
It
that
I
it
think
could
movie?
that
be
is
Fast
it
and
could
more.
it
Furious.
could be a artistic choice also, or it could be just
I no,
yeah,
it most likely is to make the audience feel that thrill. Like
Exactly,
you need
because
to, if they fall in 3 seconds, actually you are not
yeah,
going to
yeah,
feel that thrill, but you feel it. That
yes.
happens in like ghost, like horror movies. They will draw out the
suspense.
anticipation. Yeah,
Mm.
so
So
that
can
is.
it also be because that's how one feels when they're falling, and to just make it more relatable and make people how it really feels, do they
I don't
do
know. I
that?
think it's just to scare. It's just to scare
It's
enough.
possible. All I'll say is it's possible, but
Huh.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so essentially why it feels like slow motion is because in emergencies, your amygdala, you remember we talked about amygdala in
Yeah.
one of our
Mm.
previous episodes.
Hmm.
It's the part of your brain which controls your fight or flight response,
Yeah.
right? It is the first organ in your body which sort of responds to any kind of perceived threat or any threat of any kind.
Hmm.
So during an emergency, the amygdala, which is the emotion processing part of your brain, becomes extremely hyperactive as it should, and the fight or flight response kicks in. During this process, your brain tags memories more richly. Later, when you recall that event, all those vivid details make it feel like it just lasted longer than it
Hmm.
ideally did,
Mm-hmm.
right? This ties into general time perception as well. So the more information you encode, the longer a moment seems in hindsight. Essentially what is happening is, just to sort of make it more easier for understand if there's someone still a little bit confused,
Hmm.
is during a high perceived threat situation, your amygdala kicks in and your brain just imagine it to be your the modern phones have those shutter feature,
Hmm.
which immediately they take like a 10-15 different pictures in within a second or within a couple of seconds, right? That is essentially what is going on within your brain.
Hmm.
So as soon as a perceived emergency is right around the corner, your brain goes into hyperdrive and just clicking as many pictures as possible in that same time frame.
Hmm.
Rather than if you're just leisurely walking around, say it captures about 10 images per second, but during an emergency situation, it will capture maybe 40 images per second. So that extra 30 images are what make it seem like a longer time,
Hmm.
Makes
right?
sense. Mm-hmm.
Going back to what you mentioned, like certain things seeming longer or time slowing down when you're getting bored, or it is something, like in a class or during a meeting. So this is also some aspect of time dilation as well, because so one of the researchers who worked on this, he added, and I quote, it is related to the phenomenon that time seems to speed up as you grow older. When you're a child, you lay down rich memories for all your experiences, and when you're older, you've seen it all before and lay down fewer memories. So
Hmm.
this is also applicable to, for example, when you go on a vacation, especially
Hmm.
when you go on a vacation as a adult, every vacation seems shorter than it actually was. Even if you go for an entire week, it just seems like the time flew by very fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. Whereas if you look at it from a child's point of view, if they're going to a new place, everything is from a place of wonder and a place of inquisitiveness, right? So everything they're seeing for the first time, they capture all of those memories more vividly.
Mm-hmm.
The child's brain captures all of those memories more vividly, whereas an adult brain will be like, okay, this
Yep.
beach, I've been to similar
Yeah,
beaches in
yeah.
the past, so I
Mm-hmm.
don't necessarily need to capture this beach also. Right? Similarly, I've gone, for example, skydiving. I've
Mm-hmm.
also done skydiving in the past. So I don't necessarily need to hold on to this particular skydiving moment very vividly.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That is essentially what's happening. So your brain is acting on your behalf. It has the power of attorney to sort of delineate which memories it deems important to hold on to vividly and which memories it doesn't feel necessary to hold on to.
Mm-hmm.
That's also why every meeting seems to drag on forever because you've been in a similar kind of meeting a million times before that.
Mm.
Do you get where I'm coming from?
But
Does
if
that make
the
sense?
meeting is fun, like there's something different happening, some fun activity happening, it seems
Yes.
little.
Yes. It
It's a
seems
new
like as if
experience.
time has flown by very quickly,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Whenever you're having fun,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a very unique kind of fun, at least for your brain,
Mm-hmm.
it will capture that particular moment more vividly. Similarly,
Got
if
it.
you
Got
do
it.
repetitive things, you more often than not will not tend to remember every instance of the same thing happening,
And
right?
Makes
sometimes
sense. Makes sense.
you just have people in meetings who just repeat everything. So that
Yeah,
is,
again, so if someone is repeating the same thing again and again, you tend to sort of zone out, or the
Yeah.
time sort of seemingly slows down because
Mm.
again your brain is like, okay, I've heard this once,
yeah,
that I don't need to hear it again, so just it is what it is,
Mm.
yeah,
right?
just you just want to die. Yeah.
So basically, time dilation is nothing but a very, very, very tiny Zack Snyder living in your brain for times when there is an impending emergency. For those who didn't get that joke, Zack Snyder is the director who made Justice League, and he absolutely loves slow motion,
Yeah.
right? And if anyone has seen 300, that was also made by Zack Snyder.
Mm-hmm.
So if you notice 300 also, there are like n number of slow motion scenes in that entire movie. That guy loves a slow mo shot.
You
That
know,
is basically time dilation is a Zack Snyder living in your brain constantly.
we also have one similar director in India, Rohit Shetty. Every
Really?
Oh,
action, every action
right.
scene or any punch fight scene is in slow mo.
I haven't seen a Rohit Shetty movie in a long, long time. Which was the last one?
Any
Singham,
movie you see in which cars are flipping around, that's a
yeah.
standard Rohit Shetty
Or you
movie.
have
Yeah.
God says
or
go
you
to hell.
have Ajay Devgan in a movie. It's most
Yeah.
likely made by Rohit Shetty.
Ah, no, I
Like
don't watch
Singham.
Ajay
You,
Devgan.
you must have seen Singham, right?
Absolutely not. Ajay
Uh,
Devgan is such a displeasure to watch. So absolutely not.
Anyway, yeah.
Okay, the next one. It's something known as the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon,
What's
also
that?
known as
What's
the
that now?
Huh?
Bader-Meinhof phenomenon,
Wait.
right?
Again?
It's also known as
Oh my
frequency
God,
illusion.
Ashmita,
Prakhar.
Ashmita, you're also speaking at the same time when Sandy's speaking, so I can't hear it.
I'm just laughing. Okay, I will shut up. Sandy, repeat.
It's called the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon.
Bader
It's
main.
also known as for people who are unable to recall that, it can be also referred to as frequency illusion,
Must have said
right?
that for the first time.
So what is the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon?
Hmm.
It is when you learn about something new and then you suddenly start noticing it everywhere. Essentially, that is what the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon is.
You know, it has happened with me, like very funny
Of
or very
course.
weird. Yeah. So
Uh-huh.
So before buying a particular car that we have right now, I never used to notice that car on the street. But as soon as I
Yep.
bought it,
Yep.
now my brain focuses on that
Yes.
car, and I'm like, see, people are buying more of these car now. Where in fact people were buying it anyway, but I wasn't
Yes.
noticing that car.
This is one
That
of the
is
most common examples of this
Mhm.
phenomenon.
Yes, this is
The
that
red car.
exactly is what the
I think the red car is the
Bader-Meinhof
concept called.
phenomenon is.
The concept is also called the red car, I think. If you Google it, it's a red
I
car
don't know.
something. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so the basic gist is that you never you notice a red car, but as soon as you own a red car, you notice every red car on the street. So yeah,
Yeah, that is in a nutshell. That is what the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon is, right? The thing itself hasn't increased in frequency, whatever the thing is. In this
hmm,
example, your car, right? But your awareness towards that thing has increased,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? This happens because of two cognitive processes working together. The first one is something known as selective attention.
Mm-hmm.
So once something becomes relevant to you and your psyche, your brain flags it as important. That is one thing. The second thing is something known as confirmation bias, which again, it's an
Yeah.
everyday scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
So every time you notice that particular thing again, your brain goes, "See, I was right."
So you're telling me the current government needs to pollute a little more so that they realize that their pollution is real and they take action on it.
I mean, you literally cannot pollute anymore. I mean,
Not
we
here.
are
But you know
already at peak levels.
they've said that there is no correlation between
Yeah,
AQI
yeah,
and your
I
health.
know,
Yeah,
I know, I
but
know, I know, I
so
know, I
that's
know.
why.
I mean, we are with a government that has uh, homeopathy and random scam medicine they consider as the solution to all
Yeah.
ailments. They are not particularly medical experts, and they don't even care about medical experts.
They
So
care about money.
Also,
All of it is
but
business.
the poor people are suffering from the doorway effect, Ashmita. I think we should cut them some slack. They keep forgetting.
yep.
You know how many rooms each ministry building has? I've been in
I've
several. There are multiple rooms on every
so
level.
have I, Sandy. Like we have literally worked together on this. Yeah.
Okay. So where does the term the Bider-Meinhof phenomenon comes from? Like how did it get its name?
Was it the guy who found this out?
See, if that were the case, I would not have brought this up, no?
That is fair.
That's your
That is
confirmation
fair.
bias talking.
That is fair.
So interestingly, the term Bader-Meinhof phenomenon has nothing to do with the person who researched it or has any scientific background or anything to do with it. Instead, it is named after a West German terrorist group, the Bader-Meinhof gang, active in the 1970s. Right?
Jesus Christ. Why?
Yes. The name was coined in 1994 by a commenter on the St. Paul, Minnesota Pioneer Press online commenting board. The commenter had heard two references to the Bader-Meinhof gang within 24 hours and decided to name the frequency illusion after them. Just because this random guy heard their name twice in the span of 24 hours, is like, this is
What?
happening so frequently. Let me just name this frequency illusion thing the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon.
My God.
This is.
So much of our history is just accidental. It's
Yeah, yeah,
just,
yeah. See, that is the best thing about science. Scientists, and people who believe in science have no qualms in admitting that half the things that we know today are by an absolute shit show of a mistake,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's everything, everyone else who takes offense about everything else.
Yeah.
But I don't know is one of the most commonly accepted answers in science. That's the best answer you can give about science. I don't know. It's a very valid, acceptable answer,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
True,
know.
true.
Anyway, why does this sort of feel a bit spooky or weird? But it actually isn't, right? So, what essentially is happening is your brain is constantly filtering information. Most things never reach conscious awareness. So, the moment something becomes meaningful to you, for example, a word, a car model in this instance, a concept of some kind, your brain stops filtering it out. As soon as you realize, okay, this certain, in your, again, going back to your example, Prakhar, let's just take an example of a Honda City. So Honda cities have been there for well over 20 years now, right? But there's it's a possibility that it was not considered important to you by your brain. But as soon as you tell your brain, okay, fine, this Honda City, this model is very important to me and I'll keep a very conscious track of it. It immediately gets put into the important folder.
Yeah.
Right? As soon as it enters the important folder, it enters your conscious thought. And that is when you start noticing the same thing again and again and again. So just because you don't remember not noticing it before, it feels like reality itself has shifted, whereas that is not the case,
Hmm.
right? This is why you may hear sometimes people say things like, oh, this never existed before, or why is everyone suddenly talking about so and so, or the algorithm is listening to my thoughts. That is one of the most
Yeah.
common
Yeah.
ones,
Yeah.
right? So that might be the case. I'm not saying that's not true. But
That is,
in
Mm-hmm.
most cases, what's happening is it's the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon in action,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
right?
It is,
So
you
that
are
is,
noticing it. That is,
yes,
yeah. I have seen some of the most sensible people fully convinced that their phone is listening to them.
yeah,
Like I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
no, just think about it for a second longer. Your phone is not listening to you. I'm not saying that it is never going to be possible, but that's not the case. That's not what is happening right now. Yeah, so marketing and advertising people, they know this sort of, especially advertising people, marketing people more in terms of keep repeating,
Mm-hmm.
advertising people more in terms of breaking that first barrier, that your brain automatically filters out certain things. Most things it filters out
yeah,
because there's an overwhelming amount of information,
yeah,
even when there wasn't an overwhelming amount of information in the world, right? Even when you had to go about your daily life,
Mm-hmm.
even then your brain would constantly
yeah.
filter out everything. So
Yeah.
you have to actively break this barrier, which, like, especially in tech, I have seen this. It's very difficult for the technical folks to really understand this. Either the technical folks don't understand this because they think in a very different way in terms of their product, but tech CEOs don't understand this because they're not very smart people. Anyway, go ahead.
So yeah, the next time you hear a friend or someone close to you say, quote unquote, this is a sign from the universe, or something along those lines, feel free to educate them about the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon, right? Or let
Have
them
you
know
met my
that
mom?
I mean, other ones, some other one. Well, I know more people than I would care to admit who say that this was a sign from the universe. And
Yes.
had I known this before, I would have educated them. I didn't. But now I know. Now I know what to say, right? So, or what you can do is you can let them know that in scientific terms, their brain isn't discovering patterns. It's aggressively connecting dots that were already there in the first place.
No,
That is
wait.
scientifically what is happening. Yeah.
Better, you should send them when this episode is out, you send them the link of this episode. They
Yeah.
listen to the episode and then make their own decisions. That way we'll have more
Yeah.
listeners. Yeah.
And Sandy, nobody will become an asshole by saying, no, friend, this is not a sign from the universe that you should have a child. This is something very different. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
imagine being that person, right? Like, you don't want to do that.
Okay, then the best option, at least for me, is you can just laugh at them and tell them to eat shit. So that's also a viable option.
No, just send them to the podcast. Send them to this episode. I agree with Prakhar.
Yeah, talking about science from the universe, I think our universe is signaling to us that it's time for us to take a break. So we'll see you right after this very short break. So for the next part, I am signing up the two of them for a little small experiment, a little interactive session, if you will. So what I am doing is I am sharing with them a photo which contains two sides. On the left is a red photo, a red background, just solid red background with black stripes horizontally on them. And on the right side, we have a solid green color background with
Mm-hmm.
vertical black stripes on it. So what I'm asking the two of them to do is to look at the red and black stripes on the left for a few seconds and then do the same with the green one on the right side and
Mm-hmm.
just keep alternating between the two for like a couple of minutes. But please try and focus to the best of your abilities, okay? Just whenever you, whatever you're looking at, just try and focus as much as possible.
मुझे एक इमेज में अब दूसरी इमेज के कलर्स भी दिख रहे हैं.
Yeah, there's a
Interesting.
crisscross happening
Hmm.
now.
For a few seconds and
Interesting.
then it goes away. Then it comes back again for a few seconds, then goes away.
Actually, why don't you guys just describe what you're feeling or seeing or what
I'm
you're
feeling a
noticing,
little
starting
trippy.
to.
That
It
is
feels a little trippy.
nice.
But yeah, like when I go to the red one, I can still see green stripes.
Mm-hmm.
But when I go back to the green one, I can see only the green one. There's very little like, oh, when I
Mm-hmm.
close my eyes, I can see both,
Mm-hmm.
like overlapping each other.
Very interesting.
I can actually
Is
see green
it?
वाले में red वाला भी मेरे को दिख रहा है. But weirdly, the
Okay.
whenever I see different colors in different image, those are little slanted. I don't know why. Looks
Okay.
slightly.
I think we can stop right now, and I
Okay.
have
Okay.
sent you another image. Now look at the black and white stripes.
Mm-hmm.
The white horizontal stripes should appear a certain color, and the white vertical stripe should look a certain color.
I can see red and green.
I
The
can't.
horizontal I
I
can see
can't see
green,
any.
and the vertical I can see red.
I
For
can
our
see
viewers
the
and listeners, what I've shared with them is just a block of horizontal and vertical lines, just on a white background, black lines on
Mm.
a white background. And they are looking at this after having looked at the red and green background, vertical and horizontal lines. Obviously, we'll be
the
sharing this
vertical
images. Yeah, go
Ashmita,
on.
the vertical lines I see as pink, and the horizontal lines I continue seeing the normal color. But that's probably because I did not
Hmm.
my it took a long time for the photo to
Yeah,
download.
that's probably why.
So yeah.
Yeah,
Ashmita,
but
the,
this
the
was a
trick is also that you don't focus on one stripe. Like I'm just looking at the image as a whole image, and then I can see the
Yeah.
colors. Yeah.
No, I can see pink and red, but I
Okay.
can't see green anymore. But
Mm.
that's also because like I download like it took
yeah,
a
Mm.
while. I was looking at other things meanwhile, right? Like I was waiting for it to
yeah.
download. It was WhatsApp, it was open, so
Yeah. So
yeah.
the outcome is that you should get a better internet connection.
We are we are both using the same internet connection, Sandy and I.
So basically, in an ideal case, what should have been happening is that the white horizontal stripes should appear sort of greenish, and the white
Hmm.
vertical stripes should appear sort of reddish.
It switched.
Yes, yes,
Mm.
it switched. What you are experiencing right now is something known as the McCullough effect.
Mm.
What it
New
is a
burger,
visual,
new burger at
not nothing
McDonald's.
related to burger. No, no. So what it is a visual perception illusion in which neutral black and white patterns appear tinted with color after you stared at color stripe patterns for a few minutes,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it was first described by psychologist Celeste McCullough in 1965. Unlike typical afterimages that fade in seconds, this effect can last for hours, days, or even months after just a short induction period. That is up to 10 to 15 minutes if you sort of focus
Hmm.
on the colored ones. It can leave a relatively lasting impression. Nothing debilitating or whatever, but it's just uncomfortable,
So
you know?
Yeah.
if I look at a solid color for 15 minutes and then look at the
No,
black and white, it won't happen. It has to be
no,
stripes.
not solid color.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I don't understand what the application or like what has this got to do with like every other effect that you're talking about
Hmm.
has something to do with like practical things in real life, right? Like the doorway effect and everything. Very
Hmm.
real things happen.
Yeah.
What is
No,
the point of
this
this?
also happens. I mean we might not have consciously noticed this, but this happens very often in nature, right? Because all geometric patterns like these stripes, they occur very naturally in nature, right? In the world around us, everything happens very naturally. So this was another part of a research. This science has not yet been fully explored to its full extent. This
Mm-hmm.
particular thing.
Yeah.
But what's wild about it is that sometimes it lasts very long. Why? Because it's not just the tired color receptors in your brain. It's thought to be your brain's visual system rewiring how it links color to orientation.
Mm-hmm.
Does that
Okay.
make sense?
No, not
So,
really.
why it happens is after the initial adaptation period, when you look at plain black and white lines,
Mm-hmm.
the horizontal lines look vaguely one color, the vertical lines look like another color, even though they are just basically black and white lines, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
as I just suggested, it's not fully explained yet, but
Yeah.
scientists think it involves neurons that respond to both color and line orientation, adapting in an unusual way and shifting perception. So even though you're looking at plain black and white lines, you sort of start seeing your reds and your greens there, right?
Mm-hmm.
After initial adaptation period.
Yeah, your greens,
So
huh?
yeah, so even though it's not yet been fully explored within the realms of science, it is scientists believe that it is because the neurons are responding to both your colors and line orientations. And they are sort of adapting in an unusual way because they still didn't have the time to sort of revert back to their
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
original setting, if that makes sense.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, it seems as if your perception has shifted, whereas that's not the case in
Mm-hmm.
actuality, right?
It would be
Okay.
interesting to see what applications there are, because right now I can only think of like scam artists being able to use this, and all those, I don't know if you saw this. There was a phase in between where all the boomers on Facebook, they would start putting up these, oh, look at this for 30 seconds, then close your eyes and you will see
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
and all of that nonsense.
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, Also, our scam artists from our part of the country have been doing that forever. Like they will,
yeah.
astrologers, they're like, close your eyes and see this, and then open your eyes and you will see it on my hand. Yes, friend. Like it's it's a huge thing. So I want to see actually how scientifically this can be used apart from duping people.
Yeah. I'm sure there are some practical applications as well for this. It's just that we just don't know enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. This is essentially like one of those Snapchat filters for your brain.
Yeah.
So
Oh my
that's
God, please don't
basically the
remind
moral of the
Prakhar of
story.
Snapchat filters. We will again keep getting pictures of some edited picture or something like that.
Which one?
Prakhar, you took literally what? Just last year or this year only.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody you met, you took their picture and made it into a weird ass filter. Like weird
Oh
ass, you
yeah.
used a weird ass filter and made it into a weird ass face. Literally throughout a particular wedding, that's all you did.
Really? What?
Yeah. Why no one knows.
We were in
Okay.
Kerala at that time, and that's all you were doing.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Now I remember. We had a great laugh, by
Awesome.
the way.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, the final one. The final one that we'll be exploring today is something known as the Capgras effect. It is slightly a bit darker. So, what is it? The Capgras effect or the Capgras syndrome is a rare delusional disorder where a person believes that someone close to them, for example, a spouse, a parent, a child, or a friend, has been replaced by an identical imposter.
There are movies and shows on this also.
Yes, yes, yes. This
Prakhar, you are laughing. It's a very scary thing to happen.
What
What
the
the
fuck?
fuck? Yeah.
I'm glad we are looking at the funny side of it because this is a bit slightly a bit depressing.
Super dark. Super, super
Yeah.
dark.
Shit.
So what
Prakhar
essentially
is
is
losing
happening
his shit.
is the person looks the same, sounds the same, behaves the same, but emotionally the brain doesn't register them as a familiar person,
Oh
right?
shit.
As a result of this, the brain jumps to the only explanation it can possibly tolerate. This must be a fake, right? So
Okay, to be fair, this is not a glitch. This is genuinely a disease.
Oh
yeah,
shit.
Like this is an
that's why
actual
I
problem.
use the term, but again, this almost always the Capgras effect takes place after some instance of some kind. So
Mm-hmm.
it can be as a result of the onset of schizophrenia, for example.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
can be as an onset of PTSD of some kind, right? Or it can be as an onset of some kind of head injury.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
it is
trauma, it
almost
is usually trauma related.
yes, yes. It usually doesn't affect everyone, but in the extreme cases, it does happen to some people. So why it happens is normally when you see a familiar face, there are two systems that activate together in your brain. One is the facial recognition system, and the other is the emotional familiarity system.
Mm-hmm.
And the two of them combined make your brain go that, okay, fine, this person is so and I'm fine with them, right? In the Capgras syndrome, what happens is the facial recognition system works just fine, but the emotional response does not. And this particular mismatch causes some intense cognitive dissonance.
Is there
The
another
brain,
term or way to describe this? Because I've never heard about it the way you are explaining it. But I'm pretty sure this is not very uncommon. I'm sure like people know about this.
I mean, this is not relatable to everyone
Hmm.
because you have to go through some intense trauma to, for
Yeah,
this
it's
to
not
set in.
it's not
No,
common.
even people. I've never heard people talking about it or even experiencing it. That's why I can't recollect.
Maybe not explicitly, but there are some, like Ashmita mentioned, there are a lot of, like a whole host of TV shows and movies based on that.
Hmm.
And yeah, there are
It's not
several
a
books
common.
written on
It's
it.
not.
Because when people
Yeah.
It's
talk
not
about it,
common at all.
because when people talk about it, it only seems like people have forgotten or they have schizophrenia or they don't remember the person. That is it. Not the other way that they're not the way you're explaining it. Facially they recognize them, but not emotionally.
Yeah.
And
You
they
are talking about more of people who have probably dementia or Alzheimer's or something like that. That's
Or
a whole
some
different
version of
thing.
amnesia.
Amnesia,
Some version
yeah.
of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
amnesia also.
That's why
But
I can't
that's a whole
recollect
different
it
thing.
the way that you are explaining it.
Essentially, what's happening is when the facial recognition works, but the emotional sensors are not firing
Hmm.
when they meet a person, the brain, it hates these unresolved gaps. So it fills the gap with a probable story,
Mm-hmm.
which is the imposter narrative, right? That is the shortest distance that the brain can travel in that particular case. So the best thing it can think of is probably it's an imposter, right?
Mm-hmm.
This condition is often linked to, like we just really briefly discussed, brain injury of some kind, probably dementia, especially in case of Alzheimer's, schizophrenia, or some other neurological disorders affecting emotional processing. So that is when the Capgras syndrome sort of comes into effect,
Mm-hmm.
when you've suffered one of these things, right?
Or or it can be what was that? Fuck, I forgot. Harry who,
Yeah.
Sandy? In that
Harry
show.
who?
You know, Harry, what was his full name? The Dr. Harry
Oh.
in
Which
Resident
show?
Alien. Resident
Oh,
Alien.
Vanderspiegel. Harry
Vanderspiegel.
Vanderspiegel.
Or it is a
Yeah.
case where truly an alien has taken over Dr. Harry Vanderspiegel's
Yeah.
body. That
Yeah.
is, that also exists. See, I would have
Yeah.
made this joke so much better if I actually remembered the shit that I was talking
Yeah.
about. But because
But
I
it's
forget
a joke for
names.
everyone else though. So that's fine. In short, the brain recognizes the face, but not the feeling associated with that face. So that
Mm-hmm.
is essentially what Capgras syndrome is. So this
Can you
is
imagine
like,
having it? Like it's
yeah, I mean, terrible. It sounds terrible. Yeah, yeah,
horrifying.
Hmm.
yeah. So essentially, this is like your brain's two-factor authentication system for people around you. You know. So if one of the factors is failing, then the imposter narrative immediately sets in. Now we'll move on to everyone's favorite segment, the game segment.
Okay. Bye.
So today's game segment, I have named it Glitch or Stitch. So by now, all of us are very used to these game segments. Today's version is one in which I will be giving you some brain glitches and what they are, and you will tell me whether they are an actual glitch or am I just stitching you up with a fake one. That's
Hmm.
why glitch or stitch, right?
Correct.
The winner will get to call themselves a mentally healthy professional, and I'm saying this very loosely. Okay. And the loser will have to make a short video telling us and the listeners why their MBTI personality type is whatever it is.
Oh my
And
God.
and yes, you'll also have to take the test on camera and quickly explain your decisions as you go.
No, fuck no. That's horrifying.
It's
Ashmita,
supposed to be a forfeit. Ashmita, it's supposed to be
Oh
a forfeit.
God. Okay,
Ashmita,
fine. Huh.
let's either win together or lose together.
If we win or lose together, both of us will have to do this.
Yes,
Yes, but
yes.
let's then win together. That no one has to do it.
It's
Okay,
only
let,
the
let
two of
me
us.
let me put it this way. If you
Mhm.
both tie the score at the end of the game, I'll do it on your behalf. Okay, but only in the case of a tie.
Ooh, let's do this, Ashmita. Let's do this, please. I
I
don't
mean,
want to
if
do
you
it.
blatantly discuss this, then I'll get to know. No, you're
Also,
obviously cheating.
blatantly discuss or what? Like, if the only way to do this is to give the same answer. Like,
Yeah,
whatever
Yeah.
the first person gives, the second
yeah,
person gives that same answer. Sadly, you
exactly.
did not think this through, and that will
Yes.
not be fun for anybody. So no, we are not doing that.
Okay.
Whoever loses loses, Rakar. It's
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll release this clip whenever this episode comes out. It'll be on our socials. So okay, as usual, we'll start with Ashmita and go back and forth. The first one, emotional contagion fatigue. A condition where people temporarily lose the ability to mirror emotions after too much social interaction. Glitch or stitch?
Glitch.
Glitch,
Prakhar?
glitch, glitch.
Well, right off the bat, I fooled the both of you.
Oh
It's a
shit!
stitch.
It
Oh, so
felt
what is?
See,
something.
see. So whenever I'm saying stitch, that means it might be a thing, but it not yet has been scientifically established as a thing. Does
Okay,
that make
okay.
sense?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It
So
might be a thing in certain people, but there has been no considerable research done into that particular. So that's why it's still categorized as a stitch.
Got
okay.
it.
Okay. So this is basically like your LinkedIn post pretending to be science. So
Got
that's
it.
basically
Got
what
it.
it
Got
is.
it. That's the
Burnout does
best.
exist. Yeah, burnout does exist, but this specific neurological condition does not, at least not till now,
Got it.
on
That is,
paper,
that's why
right?
it felt real.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, by now you
Slightly
should
fake, huh?
realize that most of the things in these game segments, I try to make them as close to reality as possible so that you can't tell
Yeah,
whether
that's the
they're
whole
true or
point.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the whole point. Okay, second one, Prakhar, over to you. Exploding head syndrome. Hearing loud bangs or explosions while falling asleep with no actual sound taking place around you. Glitch or stitch.
Hmm. I think it's a stitch.
It's only bangs and this thing. It's
Loud
not.
bangs or explosions.
Or
Okay.
explode.
Like, for
Bang.
example, a gunshot going off, or a mine blowing up, or a car backfiring massively. Loud explosive sounds, you
Okay.
know?
When in reality it's not happening. Like there's no sound.
So if you and some other person are in the same room, they'll
Mm.
be completely unaware of what's going on, but in your head, you're feeling as if there's a loud explosion taking place nearby.
Why does it sound like? Mm,
It does sounds familiar, right? Like
yeah, it
it does
sounds.
sound.
Do you want another go, Prakhar? Because Ashmita has still not answered. Do you want to revise, amend your answer, or do you want to stick with Stitch?
I think no.
I'm
I'll
being
stick
very
with
generous
Stitch.
here.
No. I'll
Okay.
stick with Stitch.
I think it's a proper glitch.
Point to Ashmita. It's an
Mm.
actual thing. It's a glitch. So, benign sleep disorders caused by neural misfires during sleep transitions usually results in these explosive noises.
Mm.
Nothing actually explodes except your trust in your brain, but that's for another day. That's not for me to address. Yeah, probably you should
I
you
should
should
hope not.
yeah, you should reach out to your therapist or psychologist or psychiatrist, whoever you have on call.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah.
reach out to them.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one, Ashmita, back to you. The condition is called Jamai Wu, a phenomenon where familiar things suddenly feel unfamiliar, like a common word looking fake after repetition.
Mm.
Glitch or stitch.
Glitch. This
Glitch.
I don't know if the name you're making up or not, but this happens. The
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
condition is happens. I don't know if it is established or not.
It's certain words where there are
Prakhar?
like double T or double E, and then you're left with. I don't think there are double T. I think it's the incorrect
And
spelling.
don't get
Glitch.
stuck
Glitch.
on the word aspect. No, don't get stuck on the word aspect. That was just an example. But
But still,
you're
the
both saying
explanation.
it's a glitch, right?
Yeah.
It is a glitch. In fact,
Mm.
it is the opposite of what we know as deja vu.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
literally, the opposite of deja vu is jamais vu. Happens when familiarity circuits temporarily short circuit in your brain.
Hmm.
So, in deja vu,
Okay.
something unfamiliar seems very familiar. In jamais vu, something very familiar seems unfamiliar,
So,
right?
like what I said, like certain spelling when you know this is the correct one, but it suddenly feels incorrect. Is that the same thing?
Possible. Like, that is just one. Now I'm
One of the
forgetting the tip
ways
of the
you
tongue syndrome. One of the
experience,
ways, yeah.
Mm.
one
It
of the ways you
manifests itself.
experience
Yes.
this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Back to Prakhar now.
Hmm.
The fourth one, something called memory color drift. Over time, emotionally charged memories slowly shift color in the mind's eye.
Hmm.
Glitch or stitch.
Memories shift colors.
Slowly shift color in the mind's eye. So, in layman's terms, say you have a certain memory.
Hmm.
Over time, especially if those memories are very emotionally charged, they might have actually occurred in a specific color scheme in your head, but over time the color scheme changes of those memories.
And what is it called?
Memory color drift. Glitch or stitch. Prakhar,
I think it's a stitch.
Same.
Ashmita,
I also think it's a stitch,
you're both right. It is a stitch. Memory distortion does happen, but
but not of colors.
Hmm.
color specific drift is scientifically unsupported so far. It might
Hmm.
happen, but sufficient research has not been conducted yet.
Yeah. Actually, the
Hmm.
So
memories
this is
I
what,
the
yeah.
memories I have of my like childhood or whatever I remember, I still remember those in same color. So.
Mhm.
Oh, we can
So
join
this
that.
is what
Mm.
happens when, poetry escapes supervision. People start interpreting poetry their own way and giving it different colors.
Yeah, yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
what's the
Manipulated.
score? Does anyone recall? I think Ashmita, you're 1 point ahead,
Yeah.
right? It's, I think, 3-2 to Ashmita, if I'm not mistaken,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sandy,
Back to
you
you,
are supposed to
Ashmita.
keep track of the score.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
It's fine. It's
I
fine.
remembered, no?
There.
Anyway, Ashmita,
Yeah.
Alice in Wonderland syndrome. Objects or body parts appear abnormally large or small, disproportionately so. Glitch or stitch.
Are you not giving me enough information about this? Because
No, I gave you the information.
is there anything else about the quote unquote glitch that is also there? Like is it only body parts or is it
No, no,
you
body
know,
parts. This is specifically about body parts.
I think it's Stitch.
Prakhar,
I also think it's a stitch.
I got you there. It's an actual syndrome. It's called the
What?
Alice in Wonderland syndrome. It is
Wow.
oftentimes linked to migraines, some form of epilepsy, infections, especially in your brain. So there's a very good chance that Lewis Carroll was suffering with the Alice in Wonderland syndrome while he was writing the fucking book. He should have had health insurance, but instead he chose to write a fucking book. But it is what it is.
The book has got nothing to do with this though. It's
What?
not in
No.
I
In Wonderland, people have abnormally out of proportion body shapes, right?
people
That
have
is,
it's either, I mean, people in general, they don't have body, like either they are too small or they are too large. It's not one body shape, one body part being abnormally large. That's why I asked that it is because the concept didn't register, like the connection didn't register in my
mhm,
head. But okay,
yeah. But essentially,
that also
if it
sounds
makes
terrifying. Yeah.
yeah, if it makes it any easier, so you see those weird caricatures of people that people make,
Yeah.
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
With abnormally big head and very tiny tiny legs. So if that happens in real life, that is basically your Alice in Wonderland syndrome,
Mm.
which is not the reality, but you are perceiving that reality to be that way,
Mm.
Yeah. That
right?
also sounds terrifying. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The next one, I think it's back to Prakhar,
Yeah.
Yes.
right? Something known as emotional echo disorder, a condition where people unconsciously copy the emotional tone of conversations hours later without remembering the original interaction. Glitch or stitch?
Like I
Uh,
have had a conversation with you, and then I
huh.
like whichever tone I had that conversation with you in, I carry that forward through my day.
Sure, yeah, in so many words, yes. Basically, your brain is unconsciously copying the mood and tone of a previous conversation hours ago, and you try to sort of pick up the tone and emotions of that particular conversation and plug in and play in a different setting and context altogether. Does that make sense now? But the brain is not doing it
Somewhat.
consciously,
Okay.
unconsciously. Glitch or stitch, Prakhar?
Uh, I think Stitch.
Ashmita?
Hmm. I also think Stitch. I want to make it interesting, but it sounds
Hmm.
very fake to me.
It is a stitch. Emotional contagion exists, but a disorder by this name does not, at least so
Hmm.
far. This is just psychology flavored fiction of some kind, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
Yeah.
so the score is, I think, 4-3
Yeah.
to Ashmita.
yep.
Okay, back to you, Ashmita. The last two now. So, Prakhar, if you want to catch up, now is the time. Decision fatigue hallucination. After making too many decisions, people briefly see options that aren't there. Glitch or stitch.
Can you give me an example, please? And
For example, you are planning a vacation, right? You see like 10 different options to 10 different cities to 10 different villas of some kind. Obviously, over time, your brain will get fatigued, right?
Hmm.
Because there choice overload is an actual thing,
Hmm.
right? So when your brain is fatigued, it starts hallucinating more choices or options. That is what we are calling decision fatigue hallucination. So do you think it's an actual thing? Is it a glitch or a stitch?
it's a Stitch.
Prakhar?
Stitch.
I think it's a glitch.
It is a stitch. Another point to
Mm.
Ashmita. Decision
Um,
fatigue is actually real. Hallucinating choices is not a documented phenomenon yet.
Decision fatigue actually leads to the opposite. Like when you have too many choices and it has you have reached a fatigue, then you cannot see any more choices. Like your brain can't deal with more choices.
Hmm.
Yep.
So it's actually the opposite that happens.
Okay. And just to see it through to the end, Ashmita has already won again. So just to see it through till the end, the last one, Prakhar.
Yeah.
Time loop memory effect. The belief that a specific short sequence of events keeps repeating exactly. So this will be the plot of any, the time loop movies that you get.
Hmm.
The same sequence of events keeps taking place again and again and again. Groundhog Day, for example,
Hmm.
Yeah.
right? So time loop memory effect. Is it a glitch or a stitch?
I think it's a glitch.
Same.
Ashmita,
I also think it's a glitch.
I got you on the last one. It's a stitch.
Hmm.
Deja vu can in fact feel repetitive, but literal perceived looping isn't a recognized condition yet. Again, I'm
Yeah.
reiterating, I'm saying yet for every stitch because
Hmm.
there just isn't enough science backing it right now. So it might be a possibility in the future, but till now it's not. That's why. So
I like how you're safeguarding it as if anybody is going to sue us for this.
no, but we need to cover our bases not because of any legal lawsuit or whatever, but because that's how science basically functions.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Nothing is definite in science. That's the entire definition of science.
Hmm.
Oh, nice. So poetic, Sandy. That was
No, thank
nice.
you. So with that, we have come to the end of this episode. Of course, it goes without saying that there were a shitload of more such interesting phenomena that our brain chooses to partake in, but
Hmm.
we can cover those in a future episode. I mean, over the course of this episode, I've given you all a lot of food for thought. So now, my recommendation will ensure that you don't have to invest a lot of gray matter to understand what's going on.
Recommendation
Nice.
And my recommendation of the week is a YouTube channel called Good Mythical Morning. So that is
Mm,
Ah,
something that Ashmita and
finally.
I like, yeah, pretty religiously watch. Not religiously, I'd say, but on and off. But we end up watching a whole lot of it anyway.
Yeah.
yeah.
That is usually when we either we're eating something or we just need to while away a little bit of time, and you can pick up any random episode at any point of time. And
Because I also started watching after I think I came for lunch with you guys for
yeah, yeah,
one
Yeah.
yeah,
day, and then you guys were watching Good Mythical Morning, and I started watching that after that, and
Yeah.
surprisingly, a lot of my friends were watching it. When I told them, like
yeah,
I was recommending them Good Mythical Morning, but
yeah.
weirdly, all of them they were still watching it. So I was the one who wasn't watching it. So don't be me. Please watch Good Mythical Morning. It's fun.
Yeah,
It's so
it's a lot
popular.
of fun.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
It's one of the
very
most popular channels on YouTube.
yeah.
They're doing really well for themselves, and I mean even not just the two main guys which are Rhett and Link, but their entire team is also
Yeah,
pretty awesome. Like they've got an awesome team behind them,
Yeah.
yeah.
writers, editors, and just the production team. All of them are really kick-ass people, and yeah, very enjoyable, very entertaining. You won't get bored. That's a
Yeah,
fact. That is one thing we can assure you that if you start watching it, you will not get bored. It's often, more often
absolutely.
than not, it's very entertaining stuff, and they play some kind of games and stuff. So yeah, you will be hooked.
I need a palate cleanser when I watch Good Mythical Morning because one of the hosts is very annoying. So
No,
I
I
need
buy
a
that. I
palate
buy
cleanser.
that.
I need a palate cleanser, but
We need a
so
planet cleanser also, but yeah,
we
but for
do.
now we'll just sticking to
Hmm.
palette cleanser. Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Anyway, the next time you think the universe is giving you a sign, maybe just pause for a brief second and give your brain the time to reboot itself a bit. And while you're giving your brain the time to reboot, please do consider writing to us on at don't know do care one at gmail.com. The one is numerical. Or feel free to reach out to us on Instagram at DKDC Podcast. Doing this will not only make us feel good that someone has finally written to us, but that will also make you feel better about yourselves. I assure you it will. Please give it a try. And instead of the universe, we'd be more than happy to give you a sign if you reach out to us. All you need to do is just reach out to us. Please, I'm begging you at this point of time.
Wow, Sandy.
Yeah,
Okay.
and on that pretty depressing note, we hope you get the sweet, sweet, sweet sense of deja vu when you see us on our next episode. Till then, please take care. Bye bye.